The COVID-19 pandemic affects people physically, but it's also hurting them in the pocketbook. A new study shows that thousands of people in the Northwest Metro are at risk of losing their housing due to the economic fallout.
Families with young children are at most risk. More than half of all households with a child under the age of 18 have reported losing at least one adult's employment since this crisis began.
The Family Housing Fund teamed up with Wilder Research to show hardest hit neighborhoods from unemployment.
The caveat with our study is that it's only looking really at people who qualified for unemployment since the COVID pandemic began. So that means they were employed and recently lost their jobs.
The study uses zip codes to show areas reeling from the economic fallout. Several zip codes in the Northwest Metro stand out.
This is an unprecedented crisis.
People living in the 55443 Brooklyn Park zip code shows more than 30% of residents were already struggling with housing before the pandemic.
And now there are very high levels of continuing unemployment claims and initial unemployment claims, over 3,000 claims continuing in a recent month.
And people living in the 55429 and 55428 zip codes, which is made up of Brooklyn Center, Brooklyn Park, and Crystal, show there's almost 39% of residents who are facing housing insecurity.
So now we're seeing, about 3,000 unemployment claims in each of those zip codes in recent months.
And folks who live in the 55430 zip code, which is made up of Brooklyn Park and Brooklyn Center, shows 36% of people are at risk of losing their housing.
In the Northwest suburbs, we know that, Brooklyn Center and Brooklyn Park were already cities with among the highest eviction rates, in the state of Minnesota. So that challenge has always been there.
African Career Education and Resource Incorporated is advocating for tenants in the area. This is a housing rally they held in April to bring awareness. The group is walking renters through the process of requesting rental assistance.
It's an online application. A lot of the folks who live in the apartment buildings, once again, do not have access to Wi-Fi.
And over in Crystal, city leaders are helping to keep small businesses afloat.
There's no doubt that there are real impacts, significant impacts.
On Wednesday, they went door to door, alerting business owners about resources.
We don't really have the financial firepower to deal with a crisis this big, but what we have been focused on is making sure that our residents and businesses have access to the resources that are available to help them get through this.
For more information on this story, head to our website, ccxmedia.org. In Brooklyn Park, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
Find more local news stories at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.